Hello, my friends. So today's date is September the 22nd, and this is a birthday reading for those people born on this date, September the 22nd, for this year. This is a four-card pull, a general energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. So the first card, the general energy card of the year, is the Destroyer. And sometimes it's a hard card to hear. Sometimes is coming into your life this year, something that needs destroyed. But just destruction is often the precursor for creation. And things often need destroyed in order to be recreated in a better form, in a more foundationally solid form, in a more listening to your heart and your passion and your sacred spirit form. Things need to be sometimes destroyed for them to get out of your way, for you to get out of your way. Sometimes thoughts need to be destroyed in order for you to get a better perspective and a better understanding and a kinder philosophy toward yourself. Sometimes relationships need to be destroyed in order for you to really be led to your true purpose and your true place of where you need to be. Sometimes parts of your own body need to be destroyed in order for you to really focus on yourself. Maybe you've been neglecting yourself and now something gets destroyed and it says, well, you have to focus on me now. You have to pay attention to me now. We can do healing things now. We can come to better places in our understandings together now. So, and it doesn't have to be that big, and it might not be, a monumental change, but, usually the destroyer says something is going to change for you this year. Something big might really change for you this year. And how do you honor that destruction? Do you face it? Do you go face it like the buffalo with your head forward facing the storm? Or are you going to hide from it? Or are you going to just say, well, it's not there, and go on about your business and try to maintain something when chaos is erupting around you? So how you deal with the destroyer, and this is the act of beingness. We are creator, sustainer, destroyer. Those are the three emphases of most spiritual understandings, that something gets created, something gets sustained as long as it can, and then it gets destroyed as a natural process of being. And destruction is not bad, and destruction can be really powerful and good. And that's what the Destroyer card says, that there's something better coming for you if you allow something to change, allow something to shift, allow something to end, so you can move into some better and clearer understanding of yourself. And it will come with its sense of needing to surrender and probably grieve for something you thought you could have had that might have been better, for something you didn't get, which you're now lamentful for, that you couldn't have gotten it any further than it did, or something that gave you a great deal of pleasure and love and compassion and support, which no longer quite fits what you need, no longer quite fits into your spiritual being, and can be you can be open to something new coming down the road. So what is the challenge for you this year? Well, it's a Six of Swords. So the sixes are all about the heart, and swords are all about the mind, and the heart and the mind are pretty difficult to conjoin at times. But the Six of Swords really talks about, you're very smart, you've studied a lot, you've looked at a lot of things, you have a lot of ideas about how things should be. You're pretty humanitarian. Sixes, it's about being in the heart and learning how to share and learning how to not see yourself as alone in the world, but somebody who can co-create something of beauty, someone who can analyze things and clearly find the path forward for something. But it takes the heart being a co-contributor to the decisions, as the Six of Hearts says. The heart is the co-contributor to your decisions about what you want to do, what you need to do, and where you're being led to. So your challenge is to listen to your heart. And, you can't stay just in your analysis this year. You can't stay just in your thinking this year. This is about really feeling into yourself, feeling into what you want, feeling into what you lose, feeling into what may be, surrendering to change. The destroyer's coming. You have to surrender to change. You have to open yourself up and go through the process, of all the stages of grief and healing that are there. And it is not something the mind wants to do, because the mind doesn't want to face those challenges. It doesn't want to face those old guilts it might feel, or those shames it might feel inside of it, or the guilts, that are of the minds, the judgments. It doesn't want to face those things. It doesn't want to face the fear of, what if I, tell those things? What if I share those things? I might be ostracized. I might be discommunicated, excommunicated. So there's a lot of questions around this, and how one faces the need for change, because the need for change is coming. But how do you open your heart to yourself and allow change to come, because it does mean certain things. And if you don't want to look at those certain things, then you might be cutting yourself off from the real truth and the real wisdom that can be garnered from this situation. So what do you need to do in this process is the opossum, the action that you can take this year. Well, the opossum is, on a number of different levels. I think the opossum is appropriate here. The opossum is a very family-oriented creature. It's all its babies, puts them on the back, caretakes them, moves them down the road, moves them away from harm, is ever watchful, is also a very vulnerable kind of creature, can lay on its back and show its belly, is a kind and considerate creature, can defend itself if needed. And that, can be, arms and teeth, feet and teeth and claws, but it's more known for pretending to be dead, and on some level, maybe that's what you need to do this year in order for you to go through your surrender and your change, is you just need to pretend to be dead. Those people who might give you trouble or torment about your decisions, maybe you just need to pretend that you're not interested, or that you don't care, or it's not going to affect you however it does. Maybe you just need to hide those kind of energies away, because more people will pounce on them if you show them. So there's that energy of hiding. And maybe somebody is pushing at you, and maybe somebody is really pushing at you to change something, or to be something that you want to be, or to enact something that you don't want to do. And you really need to defend yourself. And I think, again, that defense is, you can take your claws and bite and scratch, or you can play dead, which is what the opossum says is their optimum sense, giving off a sense of not being interested, of not being worried, and not being concerned, and not being affected by somebody else's BS, if they're pushing at you. And so a sense of disinterest can be there, a sense of actually, changing the course of things, breaking something up, and being dead to a new possibility with somebody might be the best mechanism that you can push. Maybe somebody wants you to be involved and you can't be involved, and you say, well, no, I can't be involved. And you just make it clear that you're dead to the possibility of a reunion. You're dead to the possibility of a reconnection. You're dead to the possibility of somebody pushing at you and possibly hurting you again. And that is, I think, what comes with the destroyer as well. We don't want more pain in our lives. We have enough. We have enough things that we have to lose, relationship, people that we have to lose. But we have to remember, but whatever we are losing this year, it's about bringing us to a better sense of ourselves, opening us to a new possibility and a new paradigm that more fits our spiritual journey, and opening us up to our visioning. I think Six of Swords are often about not being able to imagine. They're more about analysis. So what is the outcome of this run? I think it's a beautiful card by the Soul Cards, and this is more about imagination, creativity, feeling connected to a more mythic understanding of yourself. We're all the heroes on our journey. We're all trying to find the sacred fleece, the golden fleece. We're all trying to learn our ways best that can keep ourselves alive and keep ourselves on the adventure and keep ourselves looking for the gold, whatever the gold is. And, for many people, that's spirituality, and many people, that's actual physical gold. So there are challenges with all of those, but sometimes we're called to higher aspirations, and I think that's what this is all about. You're called to a higher aspiration this year, and something needs to get out of the way in order for you to reach a new level of understanding, a new level of creativity, a new level of mythic connection to the bigger picture of finding your own hero inside and finding your own sense of truth, and finding your own sense of magic once more, and getting out of your head and feeling the world in a bigger way. And that's going to take some change, and that is what this year is about. So blessed be to your journey.